Good morning students. Welcome you all for next generation learning. Today we are going to see the subject physics class 9 chapter number 8 motion. Topics book exercise question and answer question number 6 to 10. The last class we have discussed about question number 1 to 5. In this class we are going to discuss question number 6 to 10. Dear students, you have to take your science book and open the chapter number 8 motion and see the book back question number 6. The question number 6 shows distance time graph of three objects A, B and C. Study the graph and answer the following question. So this is the distance time graph. And object A, B and C. Study the graph and answer the following question. The question number 1. Which of the three is traveling the fastest? Question number B. Are all the three ever at the same point on the road? The third question. How far has C travelled when B passes A? The D question. How far has B travelled by the time it passes C? We will see answer for these questions. The first question. Which of the three is travelling the fastest? First we take the A. This is object A. First we will see the distance 6 and 12. So it travel from 6 to 12 kilometer. See the time. This is 2 and this is 0. So 2 minus 0, 2. So A travel from 6 to 12 kilometer in 2 hours. The next B. Take object B. First see the distance. It start 0 and end 12 kilometer. So it travel 0 to 12 kilometer. What is the time? Starting time is 0 and ending time is 1.4. So time is 0 to 1.4. 1.4 minus 0, 1.4. So B travels from 0 to 12 kilometer in 1.4 hours. In C, this is the C. First see the distance. Start at 2 kilometer and end at 12 kilometer. So C travel from 2 to 12 kilometer. See the time. Start at 0 and end at 1.6. So 1.6 minus 0, 1.6 hours. A travel 6 to 12 kilometer in 2 hours. B travel 0 to 12 kilometer in 1.4 hours. C travel 2 to 12 kilometer in 1.6. So here the B traveled most distance in the smallest time because it travels 0 to 12 kilometer in 1.4 hours. So the B is traveling the fastest. The next question. All the three objects ever met at a single point? See, in this point B and C meet. For this point A and B meet. For in this point C and A meet. So from this all the three objects A, B and C never meet at a single point. So all the three were never at the same point on the road. The question number C. When B passes A. This is the B. This is the B. This is the This is the B and this is the A. So this point is the B crosses A. When B passes A, we have marked the point. This is a B crosses A. How much distance C travelled? So this is a C line. So this is the meeting point of B and A. That means B crosses A. We have to draw a perpendicular line to x-axis and also y-axis from the C. So C travelled 8 km. Do you understand? This point is the B crosses A. When B crosses A, how much distance C travelled? So this is the C line. So from the point of meet, you have to draw the perpendicular line to both the x-axis and also y-axis from the C. So C travelled 8 km. The question number D. When B passes C. Where B passes C? This is the B and this is the C. So this is the point B crosses C. How much distance B travelled? So from the B line, you have to draw the perpendicular line to y-axis. So B travelled 5 km. The next question. A ball is gently dropped from a height of 20 meter. See, here the ball is dropped from a height of 20 meter. If its velocity increases uniformly at the rate of 10 meter per second square, with what velocity will it strike the ground? After what time will it strike the ground? So when we drop out a ball from some height, it has a, instead of velocity you have to add acceleration. It has a uniform acceleration 10 meter per second. So what is the final velocity when it reaches the ground? And how much time it will take to reach the ground? You have to find the final velocity v and the time t. And see the solution. The distance travelled is equal to 20 meter because from the height to ground it travelled 20 meter. The acceleration is 10 meter per second squared. So 10 meter per second squared. Since the ball is dropped, so initial velocity of the ball is 0. So u equal to 0 meter per second. Here we know S, A and u. So from this value we can calculate the value of v, that means final velocity. So we know u, a, s. Finding v, you have to use the equation of motion, third equation of motion. V square minus u squared equal to 2as. The value of v we don't know, so v square minus u square. The value of u is 0 equal to 2as. The value of 2 substitute, the value of a is 10 and the value of s is 20. 0 square 0, so v squared equal to 2 into 10 into 20, 400. V squared equal to 400, v equal to root 400. When we take root for 400, we get 20. So v equal to plus or minus 20 meter per second. Since the acceleration equal to 10 plus 10. So since acceleration is a positive, it means that velocity will increase. So the velocity will be also positive. Here we took plus or minus 20 meter per second. We take only the positive value because acceleration takes the positive. Now we need to find the time t. So you have to take the equation of motion, first equation of motion, v equal to u plus at. The value of v is 20, the value of u is 0, the value of a is 10 and t you have to calculate. So 20, 20, 10 into t, 10t. So t equal to 20 by 10. When we cancel, 1 tens are 10, 2 tens are 20. So t equal to 2 seconds. So when it reaches the ground, the velocity of the ball is 20 meter per second and it takes 2 seconds to reach 20 meter. The next question, state which of the following situations are possible and give an example for each of these. An object with a constant acceleration but with zero velocity. The question number B, an object moving in a certain direction with an acceleration in the perpendicular direction. You have to say whether this situation is possible or not. If it's possible means you have to give an example. We will see the answer. An object with a constant acceleration but with zero velocity. It is possible. Where it is possible? When a body is at the highest point is motion, the velocity of the body becomes zero. So when we throw a ball in upward, it reaches a certain height. And this at the highest point, the velocity of the object is zero, but it is accelerated. That is, accelerated means due to the earth gravity it is accelerated, but the velocity of the object is zero. But it still accelerates with a constant acceleration. This acceleration is equal to the acceleration due to the gravity. So it is possible for a body to have zero velocity and a constant acceleration. So this case is possible. That means an object with a constant acceleration but with a zero velocity is possible. When we throw a ball in the upward direction, at highest point the velocity of the object is zero but it is accelerated. That acceleration is equal to the acceleration due to gravity. In case number 2, an object moving with an acceleration but with uniform speed. When the object is moving in a circular motion, the velocity of the object is changed continuously. See here the velocity is in this direction. So the direction of the object is continuously changed. When the direction of the object is continuously changed, here the velocity is changed. When the velocity is changed, here the acceleration is occurred. So see here, in case of uniform circular motion, the direction of the motion is always along the tangent. That means this is the object. How to find the direction of the object? You have to draw the tangent line. This tangent line represents the direction of the object. Maybe the object is here means you have to draw the line like. So this is the direction of the object. So in a case of uniform circular motion, the direction of the motion is always along the tangent. Therefore the speed is constant but the velocity keeps changing as the direction changed because the direction is changed continuously. Acceleration is the rate of change of velocity. As the velocity changing, an acceleration is produced. Therefore, in uniform circular motion, an object moves with an acceleration but with uniform speed. So, when the object moving in a circular motion, it has uniform speed but it is accelerated. So, this case also possible. The object moving with acceleration but with uniform speed. An object moving in a certain direction with an acceleration in the perpendicular direction. So when the object is moving in a circular motion, this is a circular motion, this is the direction of the object and this is the direction of the acceleration. Here the direction of the object and the accelerations are perpendicular to each other, the same as here also. The velocity and accelerations are perpendicular to each other. So whenever a body is in a uniform circular motion, the direction of the body is always perpendicular to the acceleration of the body. The acceleration of the body is along the radius while the direction of the body is along the tangent. Radius is perpendicular to the tangent. So acceleration is perpendicular to the direction. Do you understand? If you take a circular, maybe the object is here. So how to find the direction? You have to draw the tangent line. This is a tangent line. So this is a direction of the object. The acceleration of the object is towards the center. So towards the center, that is along the radius. So here the direction of the body and the accelerations are perpendicular to each other. In circular motion, the direction of the body is perpendicular to the acceleration of the body. Maybe the object is here means you have to draw the tangent line. This is a tangent line. So this is the direction of the object. The acceleration is towards the center, that means towards the along the radius. So see here the acceleration and the direction of the body is perpendicular to each other. In question number 9, the speed time graph for a car is given. See, this is a speed time graph for a car is given. Find how far does the car travel in the first 4 seconds. In first 4 seconds, how much distance it covered, you have to find. Shade the area on the graph that represent the distance travelled by the graph during that period. So you have to shade it. In question number B, which part of the graph represent uniform motion of the car? So this is a graph shape. So which part of the graph shows uniform motion of the car? You have to answer for these two questions. The first question, find out how far the car travels in the first 4 seconds. Shade the area on the graph that represent the distance travelled by the car during the period of 4 seconds. In velocity time graph, the distance is equal to the area of the velocity time graph. You leave this. Let us find the approximate area using the area of the triangle. See, in 0 to 4 seconds, it covered this much of distance. So if you take 0 to 4, the blue color represented triangle. So in triangle, you know how to find the distance. Distance equal to area of the triangle. So distance equal to half, that is not 12. So half B into H. that is not 12, that is 1 by 2. The value of b is 0 to 4, so 4. The value of h is 0 to 6, so 6. See how to find the time. The time is 0 to 4, so 4. The distance, this is a distance 0 to 6. So this is a b and this is a h. So half into b into h. Half into, instead of b we substitute 4 and instead of h we substitute 6. So 1 by 2 into 4 into 6. 1 2s are 2, 2 2s are 4. 2 into 6, 12. So the distance covered by the object is 12 meter. And we cannot find the distance for this shape because it takes more step, so you leave it. The B question, the part of the graph between time 6 second to 10 second represent uniform motion of the car. So which part of the graph represent uniform motion of the car? So this part, the 6 second to 10 second of the part of the graph shows the cars moves in uniform. So this is the answer for the B question. The next question, question number 10. An artificial satellite is moving in a circular orbit of radius 42,250 kilometer. So this is a circular orbit. The radius of the orbit is 42,250 kilometer. Calculate its speed if it takes 24 hours to revolve around the earth. You have to calculate the speed. It takes the 24 hours to complete. Revolve one round. So radius of the orbit is 42,250 kilometer. The time taken equal to 12 hours. The distance travelled by the satellite, this is a circular track. So circumference of circle is 2 pi r. The value of 2, the value of pi is 22 by 7, the value of r is 42,250. So 2 into 22 into 42,250 by 7 kilometer is the distance. The next, average speed equal to total distance by total time. The total distance 2 into 22 into 42,250 by 7 by total time 24. So when that 24 come up, we will write 7 into 24. If you cancel 4, 2, 250 by 24. See here, 24 twos are 12 twos are 24, 1 twos are 2. 6 twos are 12, 11 twos are 22. 3 twos are 6, 1 twos are 2 twos are 2, 2 twos are 2, 1 twos are 2, 1 twos are 2, 2 twos are 2, 2 twos are 4, balance 1, 5 twos are 10. So 1 into 11 into 21, 125 by 7 into 3. Here the 24 is cancelled by 2. When we multiply 1 into 11 into 21,125, we get 2375. by 7 into 3 21. When we divide this, we get 11,065.47 kilometer per hour. So converting this kilometer per hour into kilometer per second. Do you understand how we get this value? When we cancel 12 2s are 24, 1 2s are 2, 6 2s are 12, 11 2s are 22, 3 2s are 6 and 21, 1 2 5 2s are 42,250. And here this is converted into meter per second. So kilometer per hour, kilometer instead of hour we will write 3600 second. So when we cancelled by this value by 5, 2375 by 3600. 7 5s are 35, remaining 1, 2 and 0. Here 5 5s are 4 5s are 20, balance 3. 23 7 by 7 5 by 3600. 7 5s are 35, remaining 1, 2 5s are 10, 0. The same here. 4 5s are 20, remaining 3, 6 5s are 30, remaining 2, 4 5s are 20, remaining 3, 7 5s are 35, remaining 2, 5 5s are 25. Again this value is cancelled. 1 5s are 5, remaining 2, 4 5s are 20, remaining 2, 4 5s are 20. So 144. Here 9 5s are 45, remaining 1, 2 5s are 10, remaining 4, 9 5s are 45, remaining 2, 5 5s are 25. So 9295 by 21 into 144 kilometer per second. When we multiply 21 into 144, we get 3024. When we divide this value, we get 3.07 kilometer per second. So the speed of the satellite is 3.7 kilometer in 1 second. Take your book and see the question number 6 I discussed. And question number 7 discussed. Question number 8 discussed. Question number 9 and 10 discussed. So chapter number 8 is completed. You have to copy this numericals in your classwork notebook. Thank you for watching. Study well.